gives you wings.
Welcome back to Game Changers EMEA. We are part way through a matchup for the ages between Karmine Corp and G2. And our first map, Sunset, did not disappoint because it looked like G2 were about to pick up that game-winning momentum we know them for, Meg. But KC were able to pick those ideas apart.
Yeah, of course, we mentioned earlier about Karmine Corp. If you give them sort of a foot in the door or a little bit of momentum, then they're going to run away with it. And similarly to sort of performances we've seen with them in previous matchups, you know, the minute that they started to gain a few rounds and kind of fight back from what looked like G2 sort of taking the win, they were unstoppable.
Yeah, that was super like insane coming from KC, because even after like we saw them having an early timeout, and even after that timeout they kept losing few rounds to G2, but then once they picked up that momentum, it was just insane. They've been able to pick up 10 rounds in a row on the side of KC, and I think it just shows here like who has been this MVP coming in and being able to create so much space for her team.
These duelists are so exciting to watch. I know we want to talk a bit about them later on and give Alkia in particular her flowers. But I do think it's a sign of the maturity in the game plan of GX and Co, the fact that they are able to flex, because G2 is a team that people just didn't find answers for in the past. But now KC are the team that everyone is looking to beat. However, let's take a closer look at how G2 were finding success early on in Sunset. Meg, I know you wanted to take a look back at round 6 in particular. It looked so clean from G2 on that A site execute.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on this a little bit because it clearly shows that G2 know that Karmine Corp would have done their prep coming into this, and this is a completely sort of different site execute to what we saw with them against SK yesterday. They were super aggressive, confident in taking those Angels, and on that post plant they were really utilizing that Sage utility to slow down those retakes. And this was really when we thought, you know, this could go G2's way. Obviously the script did flip, but I would just like to note that G2 obviously did try and attempt to kind of come in and take Karmine Corp by surprise.
And yeah,
please go, Nami. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to mention that like those post plans were working for them until they weren't, because KC at some point realized that.
Fuck, bro. Damn, I got a shit. Okay.